What if everyone on Earth suddenly hated you? You know, guys, I used to be one of the most hated TikTokers.
All right, today we're looking at this little cheese ball over here.
So Luke Davidson creates garbage.
503 bricks on a plane and one falls off. How many are left? 502. How do you put an elephant in a fridge? You can't fit an elephant in a fridge. Open the door, put the elephant in, and close it. How do you put a giraffe in a fridge? Open the door, put the giraffe in, and close the door. No. Open the door, take the elephant out, put the giraffe in, and close it.
If you check the comments section of this, you'll see comments like, I heard these jokes 5 years ago, 10 for me. I've heard this joke too many times. Yeah, it's kinda overused. This ain't even funny anymore. In the early 2020s, one name dominated TikTok, Luke Davidson. He was on top of the world during the COVID era, amassing millions of likes and followers. But now he seems to be scraping for likes in a situation that can only be likened to internet obscurity. Luke totally blew up between 2020 and 2022. He was a huge deal. So much so that when he switched to another video platform, he took off right away, even as he kept making the exact same videos he did on TikTok. His content mostly revolved around skit making, dry jokes, family POVs, and recreationary videos that are all trademarked by exaggerated facial expressions. Whether he was pretending to be a clueless student in class or reenacting awkward family moments, his skits struck a chord with a generation stuck in lockdown. Within months, he went from a high schooler posting videos in his bedroom to one of the most recognizable faces on the internet. These were hallmarks of Luke's blistering career as a content creator. However, as the years went by, Luke did not change one bit. He stuck with the same antics and joke patterns. His content became almost stale to his audience as he stayed consistent with what seemed to be working for him over the years. Just like the old saying goes, if it's not broken, don't try and fix it. But Luke would come to find out the hard way just how much that adage does not apply to the young and restless audience of TikTok, who are always in search of the next viral sensation. Not long after, Luke would begin to notice a slight decline in the number of views that he was used to getting, and probably didn't think much of it. I mean, you can't expect to get millions of views on every video you post, unless you're someone like us or Mr. Beast. But this decline didn't seem to stop for Luke. He kept on losing more and more and more viewers. It didn't seem to be able to end for Luke. After a while, Luke thought of trying to move his audience from TikTok to another social media platform just like TikTok, YouTube. Yes, he's probably losing viewers because his audience moved, not because of his redundant jokes. And sometime in 2020, he did it. The first video he posted on the platform had a title that read, "I hit 1 million followers on TikTok," and it didn't do bad at all for a debut video, reaching 200,000 views within its first few weeks of release, and at its peak, 300,000 views. Anyone that understands how YouTube works would agree that those numbers are not bad for a first time. If anything, they're really good. But Luke quickly came to realize that they were hardly sustainable. Just like the faith he suffered on TikTok, Luke's videos seemed to just keep getting fewer and fewer views. And now you're probably itching to know why. Why was Luke losing all his viewers? Well, as simple as it might have been, it wasn't exactly straightforward. There are more than a few theories as to why Luke's channel kept losing its relevance, but the most prominent theory of them all suggests that his consistent loss of viewers was attributed to his unchanged and unimproved content style. And that seemed to be true. Luke kept everything the same way, the gimmicks the same, the style the same, the delivery the same. Everything was left the same way for about 4 years. It didn't require a rocket scientist to tell you that a change in your content style is needed, but it seemed like everyone else knew this, except the one person it concerned the most, Luke Davidson. In this video, we'll find out what happens when the algorithm moves on, when the audience grows up, and the very thing that made you famous becomes the reason people turn against you. The story of Luke Davidson is one of rise, fall, and resilience. From viral sensation to the target of relentless criticism, his journey raises bigger questions about the cost of internet fame, the pressures of staying relevant, and the dark side of going viral. This is the story of Luke Davidson, a creator who once had the world at his fingertips, and his fate when the world decides to look away. Luke Davidson's rise to fame was nothing short of meteoric. At a time when everyone in the world was stuck at home, Schools were closed, offices were empty, and the internet became the new communal center. It was during this time that a 16-year-old kid from the small town of Dauphin, Canada, armed with nothing but a smartphone and a towel, captured the attention of millions all over the world. At a time when the world was craving connection and laughter, Luke delivered. His humor was simple. He didn't try and do too much or over-edit his videos. Most times a green screen and simple filter was enough. His skits were also relatable at most, as he based many of them on common humor around human interactions, and his energy and charisma was just infectious, both to children and teens. Say what you will, but you can't deny that he had a way of making people feel seen, and more importantly, making them laugh. Leveraging on the support and admiration that he got from his fans, Luke rode their cheers all the way to the top, achieving the stardom that thousands of creators on TikTok so dearly craved.
Thank you guys so much for 1 million followers on TikTok. I appreciate every single one of you guys, especially the people that like and comment on all my posts. Even though I can't respond to everybody, I still do read through.
By mid-2020, Luke was no longer just a TikTok star. No, he was now a household name and a cultural phenomenon. Brands wanted to work with him. Fans so badly wanted to meet him. Everything was working out perfectly. And for a moment, it seemed like the sky was the limit, like it was officially Luke's world. But as with the trend that we've come to see in recent times, fame comes with a price. And the price of fame, especially the viral kind that almost happens overnight, is very, very steep. The same platform that lifted Luke to stardom soon became a battleground, a stage where creators using their content fought each other for the viewer's attention. Also one where creators are celebrated one day and torn down the very next day. And the viewers became the crucial judges whose approval meant everything to the creators. One could easily argue that this was very toxic, but no one seemed to mind. A Twitter user put it best when he says, "The internet is a demanding place, and staying on top requires more than just viral moments. It requires reinvention, evolution, and a thick skin." And like a prophecy, these are the things Luke would soon learn the workings of the hard way. Luke's transition to YouTube seemed like a natural step after conquering TikTok. Having millions of followers already in tow, he began uploading reaction videos, day vlogs, and more skits on YouTube. And at first, success followed him. His reaction videos were particularly popular. They were all hits, with some garnering well over 20 million views. But as the views climbed, so also did the criticism of Luke. At the start, it was just a normal thing that happens on the internet, especially on video sharing platforms like YouTube and TikTok. Everyone got hate on the internet. It's a norm at this point. Nobody is liked by all in real life, and that also tracked online. You bother me. Just put the bag in the fries. But the comments continued to pile up. More and more discrediting remarks about Luke and his content on every video that he posted. He couldn't seem to catch a break. And it wasn't just the viewers that shared the opinion that he was not good enough anymore. Even fellow creators started piling it on Luke too. It was as if the world had turned on Luke. As these negative comments and now videos about his content filled everywhere, they also seemed to drive his viewers away, and at a very effective rate.
Hey Mom, what's the Wi-Fi password?
It's 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's not working. Go.
No, it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Go. It doesn't work.
No, it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Even upcoming YouTubers were trolling him. Critics now argued that Luke's content had become repetitive and uninspired, that his viewers had grown past the towel and head antics, lazy edits, and his unchanged and overused face filters. Even his jokes now had a very simple, repetitive template. One could always predict where and when the punchline was coming, and he became exhausting and annoying to watch. While his early skits had a fresh and authentic feel to them, his newer videos seemed to lack the same spark. The creativity that made him stand out during the pandemic was now running low, or missing entirely. One more thing that you would also quickly notice on Luke's channel are the thumbnails on his videos. They're all the same, The same color combinations and the same exaggerated expression with his mouth open no matter what the video title was. And as much as that works for some solidified creators that have stood the test of time, it might not have been the best option for a now struggling YouTuber. If change was ever going to happen, then it should have begun with the thumbnails. And then his audience, the core of Luke's fan base, were young teenagers at the time, 2019. In the few years that Luke has been around, many of them must have hit a growth spurt since then and are now probably into other stuff. The kids who laughed at his mum skits during their sophomore year were now seniors or college freshmen by 2023 with different lives and tastes. Lockdown was over, the world reopened. Those relatable pandemic vibes lost their edge when people got back to reality. Teenagers traded his slapstick content for edgier humor or slicker production, and Luke's lo-fi charm started looking dated. His core audience didn't ditch him overnight, they just drifted, scrolling past for something new. A 2021 skit about a family diner must have hit 5 million views, but now the same vibe barely cracked 100,000. The chord he struck was fraying. Another thing is the algorithm, the silent puppet master of TikTok and YouTube. These platforms thrive on novelty, rewarding creators who keep it fresh and frequent. And yes, Luke's posting stayed consistent on some channels, but his style didn't evolve. TikTok's For You page is a brutal gatekeeper. If you're not trending, you're fading. By the next month, the app was pushing new faces. Even Luke admits to not liking TikTok's algorithm because he didn't understand it, even after 5+ years dominating there.
Once again, like I said, the algorithm is so bad. I don't like TikTok's algorithm. But if we look in the last week, 1.2 mil, 3.4 mil, like this one, 658. It's been 22 minutes since I started recording. Let's refresh it. 658. 5, 6, 7, 8. So it went up 30K.
Luke's antics weren't cutting through the noise anymore. On YouTube, it was worse. Shorts demanded daily uploads to stay relevant, and long-form videos needed good hooks. Life vlogs, collabs, something. Luke's reaction videos that was once pulling 20 million dipped to 200K and then lower. The algorithm didn't hate him, it just kicked him out of the loop. Platform and audience dynamics played a role too. TikTok in 2020 was the Wild West. Anyone with a phone could blow up. By 2022, it was a machine, favoring polished creators with teams, budgets, or viral dances. Luke's DIY ethos, what was his strength in the early days, became a liability. YouTube was no kinder. His transition had promise. 300,000 on a debut was no fluke, but sustaining it meant adapting. Other TikTokers pivoted, but Luke, he doubled down on the same skits, expecting the same results. His YouTube growth stalled, and TikTok became a shadow of its former self. He thought his audience moved platforms, not tastes. Turns out it was both. The competition's another angle. In 2019, when Luke started posting on TikTok, there weren't as many creators as there are today. And even when that number first soared in 2020, Luke had been there for long enough to still have an advantage over the upcoming creators. In subsequent years, the competition kept getting steeper and steeper. Luke didn't lose in a vacuum, others outran him. Take KB Lame, for example. No props, no words, just pointing at dumb hacks. And he soared past 160 million followers by 2023. Or Mr. Beast, turning YouTube into a spectacle with million-dollar stunts. These creators reinvented, scaled up, or found new lanes. While Luke, he stayed in his bubble. Newer TikTokers emerged too, with smaller acts and tighter edits. Luke's once unique niche got crowded, and he didn't fight for the spotlight. His videos weren't bad, they just weren't better than the flood of alternatives. By 2022, the cracks started to show. The numbers were down, the hate comments didn't seem like stopping anytime soon, and the audience that once adored Luke were now turned against him. Even the algorithm that once favored him was now moving on, and so were his fans. It looked like Luke's dreams were now coming to an uneventful end, and no one was watching. And now more than ever, the pressure to impress and stay relevant was mounted heavily on Luke, and a solution was anything but clear. The backlash that Luke faced didn't cease, it was swift and brutal. Hate videos began popping up everywhere on YouTube. Some were calling him cringe, some say he's repetitive, and others say he's out of touch. Comment sections were flooded with negativity video after video, and even his most loyal fans began to question if he had really lost his touch. While we can all applaud Luke's resilience and him not letting all the negativity around get to him because he kept making videos and posting every day, there was no doubt that the negative comments he was getting had some truth in it, and further analysis of Luke's videos from 2020 till present is proof of that fact.
Go clean your room. No, it's my room. Well, it's my house. Then go clean it.
If I died in a foreign country, let's say Jerusalem, and it cost $30,000 to send me back, or $500 to bury me there, which would you choose? Probably $30,000 to ship you back. Really? Why would you choose $30,000 over $500? Because around 2,000 years ago, a man in Jerusalem died and rose from the dead 3 days later. So I can't take any chances.
And this one is from February this year, and he still has the exact same gimmick. From the videos you just watched, you can see that Luke has been doing the same thing since the very onset. Even when he started posting on YouTube as well, he kept up with the same content from TikTok. The only new addition were his reaction videos, which were a success for a short while, but have since, like his many other videos, fallen into obscurity. By 2023, Luke's channels continued to struggle and could not find new ways to gain traction. His YouTube videos, once a goldmine of views even very recently, were now barely scraping by. And his TikTok, once the epicenter of his fame, was now a graveyard of hate comments and nostalgia for a time that had now passed. The only thing left were the hate comments and videos. Luke then decides to respond to some of these comments and videos about him, maybe hoping to understand where the criticism is coming from and why. It's almost like getting users, or in this case, viewer feedback. And then he made a video in response to another video criticizing him, made by a creator that goes by @CocoCrazy.
So a couple minutes ago, I was looking at my TikTok on my phone, and I looked at the comments on my latest video, and I saw this. Can we all just enjoy the video without comments saying, who came from the downfall of Luke Davidson? Who came here from the Luke Davidson downfall edit? Downfall of Luke Davidson. I came here because the Luke Davidson downfall edit. And I was like, huh? What the heck is this? I searched up on TikTok. I found this.
Luke Davidson was easily one of the most famous TikTokers in the
And I was like, wait, how do I find this? What is that voice? So then I went to YouTube and I see this video. How Luke Davidson lost 6 million TikTok. Wait, that's the title? 6 million TikTok followers? What do you mean lost? What? I didn't lose that many. I don't think, no. But it has 400,000 views in 7 days, which is not bad. So let's see what this is about.
This guy's content is like school project level quality, and he's got almost 6.
In this video, Luke seems to take the criticism well. He accepts that his content cannot appeal to everyone and reiterates that he still gets people to like his videos, which is true. And when the criticizing creator @CocoCrazy says that he barely got likes and struggled to reach 100,000 views in his videos, Luke counters her point with facts, showing that he has gotten well over 100,000 views in the last 6 videos he posted over the last week on TikTok.
May not be far off. Luke's channels on YouTube now struggle to gain even a fraction of.
Okay, here's my facts channel. And yes, if you look at the last few videos, 5.4K, 6.7K, 9.8K, 9.4K. But if you scroll down, like literally 9.5 mil, 11 mil, 2.6 mil, almost a mil. So like when I was posting consistently on here, the views were doing good. But then, I don't know, I just felt like the amount of time I was spending on the videos was just so much, and like I was kind of like getting burnt out from this channel. So I kind of just like stopped posting on the channel and like was focusing on my other channels. But then the reason why it's like the views are lower now is because when did I start again? Like literally a couple weeks ago, I think. I just started posting, like trying to post consistently on this channel again. I have a team now helping me with the edit.
And when she brings up the case of him getting so much hate in his TikTok comments section, Luke responds by telling us that when he first started getting these hate-filled comments, he turned them off, deciding to prioritize his mental health and peace of mind, especially as the comments were really bad, some going as far as asking him to unalive himself because of his lack of humor. Now, that's just extreme. He also says that since they're already hating on him, he is not going to be like them by hating on others. Such a swell guy.
For assignments.
Oh, wait, I actually have a question.
Yeah.
Has this ever happened to you?
See, like they're making fun of me, but it's not even making fun of me at the same time. Like I don't even know how to explain it. And like I said at the start of the video, they're just well, I don't know if they're just doing this for like content or if they actually don't like my videos or what they think of my videos, but
After seeing how he was taking and dealing with criticism, Luke started to get some public sympathy again, with people commending his resilience that was on show for all to see. and for the first time in a long time it seemed like things were turning around for Luke. But that didn't last, as almost immediately after that, the negative comments on TikTok started to pile in on his latest video. Further in the video, the creator @CocoCrazy even acknowledges this in her video when she says things turned out worse for Luke.
I used to watch you in 2020. Let it go, bro. Bro carry 2019. Uncle's still doing this. They get more brutal. Hardest fall off of all time. Haven't seen bro.
She then adds that these comments might not be far from the truth according to the numbers, saying that having 17 million subscribers and getting less than 40,000 views is really bad. Also adding that even her with just over 100,000 subscribers gets 40,000 views within a few days of posting, and her flopped videos that don't do very well still get 40,000 views in a month. And what was Luke's response to this, you ask? Well, he basically explains that his channels with fewer views are the ones that he has stopped posting on for a while, like his facts channel that has struggled to get up to 10,000 views in his recent videos. He explains that the decline in views is a result of his break in posting, saying that the videos on the channel take too much effort to create and that he was burnt out. And since it's a shorts channel, the algorithm basically kicks you out of the loop when you don't post frequently.
Two things. So, first of all, the facts channel. Okay, here's my facts channel. And yes, if you look at the last few videos, 5.4K, 6.7K, 9.8K, 9.4K. But if you scroll down, like literally 9.5 mil, 11 mil, 2.6 mil, almost a mil. So like when I was posting consistently on here, the views were doing good. But then, I don't know, I just felt like the amount of time I was spending on the videos was just so much. And like I was kind of like getting burnt out from this channel. So I kind of just like stopped posting on the channel and like was focusing on my other channels. But then the reason why it's like the views are lower now is because when did I start again? Like literally a couple weeks ago, I think. I just started posting, like trying to post consistently on this channel again. I have a team now helping me with the editing and everything. And the way YouTube Shorts work, because I've done this before, is like when you stop posting, you like get forgotten about in the algorithm. And it takes like a while to like get back into the algorithm. And then once you get back into the algorithm, it's like a snowball effect. I'm not doing this to brag.
But now he's back to posting and has done so for a number of weeks now. But those numbers don't seem to be getting any better. Well, to that, Luke adds that he now has a team that he's working with to put up the videos and that it takes time to get back into the loop. After that, the critique and creator goes on and on about reasons why she thinks Luke was losing viewers, many of which we've already covered. And Luke responds by reminding us that he still gets a reasonable amount of views per video, especially on a platform like TikTok, where the fame is like an ember of fire. If it's not fueled quickly enough with another viral content, it'll usually go off. Luke basically says that on TikTok, where he has over 15 million views, he still gets a video that reaches 1 million views in every 5 or 10 videos he posts. He also cites an example like Charli D'Amelio, who has over 150 million followers and is not getting nearly as much views on her videos, yet no one is making a video on how she has fallen off.
Yeah, it's impossible. Well, maybe not impossible, but like almost impossible to like get the same amount of views for that long, you know? But if we pull this up, 2.8, 1.2, I feel like that's pretty decent for doing this for 6 years. Like Charli D'Amelio, no, I'm not like pointing names or doing things, but like Charli D'Amelio is like what, the most followed? Or is she still the most followed? I don't even know. But like, look, she's not getting 157 million views because she has 157 million followers. Like it's impossible to like get the same amount of views for that long, you know?
And the video goes on and on for more than half an hour. But the question on everyone's lip is, would Luke be able to return to his previous glorious heights? Well, the popular opinion is yes, simply because of a few things. Firstly, Luke already has the numbers and the following. It's not as if he's trying to get famous again from scratch. So in theory, after finding out a new way to entertain his viewers, everyone should be singing his praises again. But we know that's not always that straightforward. Also, Luke was really big before and he supposedly already made millions off the platform. So we know that he has the budget to revamp everything if he so wished, and he's already doing it. He mentioned being burnt out from making so many videos by himself and how he quickly remedied that situation by hiring a team to work with him on those videos, hence reducing the amount of time he spends making those and other videos. Finally, the experience. Luke Davidson was literally at the pinnacle of internet fame at one point in time, and that experience is invaluable. It's something that most people would probably never experience in their lifetimes, but he has been there and done that. So unless by some miracle he doesn't remember how he achieved it, or is just unable to reach those levels again, it shouldn't be unreasonable to be banking on his return. Either way, we should be seeing more of Luke Davidson in front of our screens, at least for the time being.